Hello, everyone. This is Shelly Lynn Hughes, the founder of Pursuit 365, a wonderful community that is around the world today. We have our Talk Wednesday today, and these are my first guests that I'm hosting, which is Leah and Cass coming from the Okanagan. These two lovely ladies own a company that is called Intimate Wellbeing. Welcome, ladies, to the program. I am so happy you are here.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us. And hello to the whole Pursuit 365 audience.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Growing from, locally Vancouver, and then we went, we were across the country in Canada, and now the audience is in, and the members are in Vancouver, Canada, the United States, Mexico, the UK, New Zealand, and Australia.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much. But enough about me. I'm here because I want to talk to you ladies today. I want to hear all about your company, Intimate Wellbeing. I want to hear about how you got to where you are right now, where you started, and where you plan on going in the future. So I think I'm safe to say that you guys just celebrated your first year anniversary. Is that correct?
We did in September.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank
Congratulations.
you.
And how longer.
It feels like longer, but it's only been a year.
But really, it feels like longer in the business. But you two being, very probably best of friends, and you've been friends for many, many years. It probably feels like it was, oh, you weren't? No way, Cass. I did not know that. I thought you guys were super close friends.
Well, we are now.
We are now. Being in this business, you can't help but be super close.
We know everything.
Of our conversations.
So how did you two meet? Because now you're business partners. How did you meet?
All right. Well, I guess we started. Let's put it this way. Intimate Wellbeing has been a project that we've been working on for 18 months now. We really dove deep into it, I want to say February of 2022. Prior to that, we had dinner a few times with our partners. The four of us would go out for dinner. But we did make fast friends, and it was over a glass of wine or two one night that the whole idea was discussed. And next thing you know, we were forming what is now Intimate Wellbeing. And we want to be just like you, grow across the country, and we are shipping down to the States. But it all started with one conversation and one idea, and here we are.
Yeah, isn't it amazing when that happens? It's like all of a sudden there's this small little idea, and then when it's the right idea when it just kind of organically grows, or it just keeps growing, right? So Intimate Wellbeing, I love the name.
Thank you.
Going on to Intimate Wellbeing, what I hear and what I feel is intimacy is part of our health, and intimacy is about everyday life, well-being. And I feel anyways, over the years, or at least growing up in my age group or our age group, that when we think about intimacy, whether it be, just sexual intimacy or, hugs, love, love without the sexual side of it, we've been brought up to think of it as not really like a health thing, right?
Right.
So is that how you came up with the name? That's the feeling I get from it, that there's more to it than just intercourse.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We started the company kind of just geared towards women in general, and really thinking that there wasn't a site where women could shop for sexual products that wasn't too raunchy or kind of intimidating. So we started the site mostly for women, but we quickly niched down to our age group. And so mostly it is for midlife women. And we really feel like our age group kind of missed the memo. Our age group has a lot more shame than maybe the kids growing up today have. So that's where we're coming from quite a bit too, wouldn't you say?
For sure. And the impetus for that conversation last February was a few years prior to that. I was 47 years old, sitting on the floor of an Airbnb in Vancouver, and I overheard a podcast, and it was talking about pleasure and intimacy. And I had a holy F moment. It was kind of like, I'm just newly separated from nearly 3 decades of marriage. Mm-hmm. And what the hell, I missed the memo on pleasuring myself. And from that day forward, I mean, the very next day, I found a sex shop. But if you take my experience of going into my very first sex shop at the age of 47, buying my very first vibrator at 47, and the process was this. I drove up, I drove by, I walked by, I had enough courage to walk in because there was lingerie in the front of the store. And I thought, okay, if I see anybody I know, I'm just looking at lingerie. Then I get in there and like, oh man, there are people in here. I don't want to talk to anybody. So I waited till everybody cleared out. Then I went up to the woman like a deer in headlights and I said, I'm here. I don't know what I need. I don't know what I'm looking for. I need help. And she helped me. But that experience at 47, I was embarrassed. I was overwhelmed. I was intimidated. And so when I was looking for what was my next career path after, working in an entirely different industry over the years, I thought, damn it, I got to take my experience and make something better of it.
Yeah, and we really want women to realize that sexual health is just as important as physical health, as mental health. And a lot of women aren't given that memo,
No,
aren't given that reminder.
they're terrified.
Mhm.
They're terrified to, just to.
Nobody discusses it.
Yeah.
Even when we were developing the idea, I had friends who we had been friends for 3 decades and never talked about sex, intimacy, arousal, orgasm, toys, nothing. Then I told them what I was doing, and all of a sudden it's like the floodgates opened. Oh my God, it's like I gave them permission to have this conversation.
Yeah, for sure. You gave them that permission to talk, and it's not anything to be embarrassed of. And so, okay. So you guys did that.
Polar opposite of embarrassment. They should be talking about it, and conversations like this should be happening. We should be
normalizing the conversation. And I mean, a lot of women still aren't talking even to their doctor or telling them if they have something going on down there. A lot of women are still ashamed to even talk about it. So there are all these women who are suffering in silence. So we really feel like we're being a face, and putting our face to it is really going to help women realize, hey, there's more to life than hiding. And there's more to life than not having a good sex life,
And we're more than just selling sex toys. I mean, as this interview evolves, you're going to learn that we started out thinking, we were going to sell sex toys and drink margaritas on the beach.
Well, the one thing that I really love about you guys, that you always are sharing information on education. So it's not only just, here's a way you're going to get off, which I hate to say that, but have an orgasm, but like, you're not just selling that, you're selling the education behind it. And it's not only just the education, like about the toys or about orgasms, but it's actually education on our bodies as well, outside of all of that.
Sure.
And I really, I love that you're doing that. It makes it much more authentic, and people trust you, and that's what I'm.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Till again,
edit that part.
We have puppy love.
Just my dog.
A little blooper. We're all good. We're okay. So you started that, and then it started off with that. You start off with sex toys.
A retail component, exactly.
A retail component. And then I know the part of me.
We thought that would be what we would do. We thought, because you know what, there's not a pretty site out there. There's not a safe site. There's not a non-intimidating site. By just creating an elegant store, we kind of thought this is good. This is where we're going. But as we got more questions, as we realized all the education that we didn't have, all the misinformation out there, all the lack of information, really thought, we can do something better here. We can have a mission. We can empower women with information. So the two of us are not experts. Neither of us have a sexual health background, but we certainly have made a lot of good relationships and a lot of good friendships with sexperts.
Our community, Shelly,
pardon me?
Our community is now upwards of 25 world-renowned. We've got Dr. Lori Brotto from UBC Sexual Health Research Lab. We have Dr. Lori Mintz way down in Florida, who wrote Becoming Cliterate. We've got Dr. Carolyn Klein from West Coast Center for Sex Therapy, and a whole myriad of pelvic floor physiotherapists, intimacy coaches, wellness coaches, sex coaches,
menopause chicks,
talking about everything that really is relevant to this age and stage. Our avatar, we say, is a midlife woman, but let's face it, anybody north of 25, you are going to start experiencing, every age and stage of a woman's life, but our avatar is really such that we think that with everything that you go through from childbirth and postpartum to perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. There is no sex expiry. So we think we've got a community that speaks to all of the issues, and we've got all the wares to sell you for all of your pleasure.
For whatever that is. But I actually like the fact that you guys are not sex experts. You know what you are? You're women experts, or you're people experts. Like I'm not a publisher, but I'm a publisher. I'm a communicator. I'm a sharing ideas. I'm a sharing thoughts. I connect people and I make them feel that whatever's going on in their life, I'm not a counselor, but whatever's going on in their life, I'm here to hear them and I'm here to build a community and help them. So I actually love the fact that you guys aren't sex experts, but you bring the experts in to communicate with, because obviously, a lot of the questions that you guys have, the rest of us, well, not all of us, but a good portion of us, we're too afraid to ask or talk about, or so the fact that you're not is actually really empowering, and it makes our questions not so afraid to ask. So good on you guys.
Did you know, fact here, did you know our age should be having 2 to 3 orgasms a week for optimal pelvic floor health?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
How would we know this unless we learn? And I might add, these seminars, we do seminars every second Thursday night from September through to May, and we speak about pain, function, dysfunction, desire, libido, arousal, you name it, and they're free. And a lot of times when everybody is experiencing issues, and if they're not talking to their partner about it, they're not talking to their doctor, they can go. And sometimes to go to sex therapy is overwhelming or intimidating, or it's cost prohibitive. So these are free seminars, and our word is the conduit to the experts.
And we learn something new every time too. Every single time we learn something new, we're like, wow.
Yeah, you would definitely. I mean, we're always learning, and different experts, different ideas, different knowledge. So that is fantastic. Okay, so you started this. I started where the friendship came, how the business has gone from one spot to another. Now I know you guys launched a product. I think it was about 6 or 8 months ago. I'd love to, and I think you've got another one that you're launching that I don't know about yet. So unless you're ready to talk about that, but tell me about your product.
There we go.
Joy.
We really, when we were making the site, we are curating other people's products. But we are curating higher end products. We have Leah's very nice saying with her cars, if she wants to tell the world.
I like to say in the sex business, there's everything from the Kia to the Bugatti. We've really curated our entire collection from the Mercedes up to the Bugatti. High-end, body safe, reputable. A lot of the brands are woman founded brands. And that's our niche.
Yeah, but as we were stocking our virtual shelves with lube, we really realized there's not a lot of super great lubes out there, especially for women. It's your most permeable part of your body, just as permeable as your mouth. So we created our own, and that is the Okanagan Joy, which we had made in a totally certified organic facility. It's totally natural. There's no propylene glycol. There's no parabens. There's no bad shit.
No
just good
dirties.
stuff.
It's just good stuff.
Yeah.
If we're putting it down there, I hope there's no bad shit.
It's super salty.
I like to say it's the best damn water-based lube you're ever going to find. The fact that it is made in Canada, and the fact that we have had it made specifically for the midlife woman. Having said that, there are ingredients, like Cass said, the best part about it is what's not in it, not all of the ingredients. The whole list here is the no propylene glycol, no parabens, no petrochemicals, no mineral oils, no endocrine disruptors, no synthetic fragrance, no synthetic color. It happens to be gluten-free because it's food grade and vegan. So, I mean, how do you say no to that?
How do you?
And it's called joy.
Joy.
Who doesn't want a little joy in them?
And it looks sexy on the bedside table.
Who doesn't like going to the Okanagan?
Exactly.
And come on, let's face it, there's a massive, massive stigma around lube. Do you know how many times we go to the trade shows? Oh, I don't need it. Oh, I'm not there yet. What the frick? Everybody deserves lube. There's such a stigma, and that's part of our mission with the lube is to normalize it.
Yeah, and
Normalize that for sure.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys sell it in one size? Is there 2 sizes?
It's 100 mil, so you can take it right through security.
Nice.
And
For those
right, yeah.
rendezvous out of town.
Exactly. And even if it comes in, even if they take it out, I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Look at that.
But no shame anyway. So, okay. So you've got that product. Now, are you wanting to, before we move forward, is it only sold on your website for now? Are you keeping it on your website, or is it going to be in stores, or what is you're moving forward with it? So
Right
people
now,
want to order it.
yeah, right now it is mostly in stores. We do have it in some select spas across the country, but that's mostly because they can handle the margins a bit better than your normal retail. We are working on maybe, possibly, but that's probably a 2-year plan more than a 1-year plan. But right now, I mean, we're shipping across Canada and across North America, across the US. So come to us and we'll get
we're
you some.
hauling it everywhere. I mean, next
Yeah.
weekend we'll be in Calgary, then we're off to Edmonton. We just came home from Toronto. In the last few months, we've been Las Vegas, Vancouver, you name it. We've
been everywhere. I know I see girls traveling everywhere. I'm like, whoa, that's amazing.
We tried.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, now I saw on social media that you guys have a new product. Are you wanting to talk about that, or a new service, or there's something new and exciting?
It's
not
a new product.
It's a new something.
It's a new offering, but it's not ready to announce yet.
No, we need a drum roll. We need a little bit more time.
Yeah.
We'll
do another follow-up in like 6 months or something. We'll do a follow-up.
For sure.
So now moving forward with your we're not going to talk about your sex lives, but we will talk about how, now that you guys are educated on the importance of, what was it, 3 orgasms a week, did you say?
2 to 3 orgasms a week for optimal pelvic health.
Okay.
Then do you want to stat on the lube?
And you want to stop it. So did you learn that from the vagina coach or someone else? Did you learn that from the vagina coach or someone else? Remember the vagina coach?
Oh, it's from it's not from the vagina coach, but it is from one of our pelvic floor physiotherapists.
One of yours. Okay. Yeah. So you were going to say something, Cass. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. Leah's talking about the lube stat that we like to put out there, and it's from the Journal of Sexual Health. And it is that if you use lube, you have an 85% better chance of having an orgasm as a woman.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So why
not
use it?
Yeah. It's funny.
And like, percentage, you probably know the percentage of women that have orgasms. What's the percentage of that? We know the percentage of men are really high.
No,
there is the orgasm gap. Yeah, no, obviously, let's face it, we are here to shift that and to have a conversation along the way, whether it be at a trade show, whether it be at the webinar. And the sole focus should not be the ultimate goal of orgasm. I think our mission is to have the best sex of your life with or without a partner. And when you are masturbating, to have a toy, a good lube, and to also destigmatize the whole notion of sex toys in the bedroom when you have a partner. I mean, there is a lot of stigma, a lot of conversations to have. Just normalize it. Find your pleasure. I mean, it is as important as your mental, physical, and spiritual health.
I think there might be a lot of people, at least I've heard in the past, like a lot of people that are threatened by having a toy in the bedroom, like they're competing with it rather than bringing it into the bedroom as something that's going to enhance their intimacy together. Have you heard that?
Oh, we have a very good psychologist that speaks to that quite well. And one of her comparisons is, you wouldn't want to eat sushi every day. Even if you really love sushi, you're not going to want to eat that every day. So why wouldn't you change up what you're doing in the bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's got nothing to do with a replacement, or it's just an enhancement. It's just she's like, kids play with toys. Why wouldn't you play with toys? So
yeah, I get that.
Kind of, using those metaphors kind of helps women go, oh, okay, yeah. And then maybe helps them to explain to their partner if they're feeling threatened in any way.
For sure. Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. Okay, so you're selling online, you're across the country, you're traveling around the world, you're educating women and men, I'm sure, because they're educating their partners.
Mhm.
or educating couples, I should say, or just people in general, or even helping people have intimacy with themselves. So you're helping the whole big picture. Where do you guys see yourself going over the next 2 years from now, or the next 5 years? Do you just see the brand growing? You're going to add more products?
Yeah, I mean, definitely we would like to add more products. We're not quite sure what those are yet. We do have some ideas, but I don't think we're really ready to say what those are yet. We see us growing. We see us continuing our seminars, but we really would like to hold more live events eventually, maybe doing couples retreats, maybe far away destinations, just continuing to grow the brand and growing our community, getting more. The more we have in the community, the more we're learning, the more everyone's sharing, the more people are talking about sex, the better everyone's going to be.
But you two, you were not, I know Leah, for sure, you, as you mentioned earlier, you never really talked about sex. But Cass, did you, like before this business, or before you had it wasn't even the business, the self-realization when you heard that podcast that you were not
No, we've
appreciating
become empowered in this
but
business.
you,
The two of
Cass?
us have become empowered too. Yeah, I mean, we came in, we were so shy about reaching out to trade partners when we were starting the business. We had different names. So I was Coco and she was Lola, and we still have our emails that say that because we were too shy to put it out there and we weren't going to put our faces to this brand when we first started. We were just going to have an online sex store that people could buy their pleasure toys from. And
Yeah.
as we grew and realized how much we could affect women by putting our faces to it, we changed our minds fairly quickly. And the emails that we get and the DMs that we get are just like, you are helping everyone so much, because I felt so shy about this. I was so ashamed. My parents told me this is how I grew up. Seeing you just talk about it and put your face to it has like changed how I feel about myself. So those are empowering. We don't get those every day, but when you get one, it fuels our fire for sure.
Sure. I mean, I only knew pleasure through the patriarchal sense of it. If my partner was in the mood, if it was this, that, or the other, it was almost equated to, okay, I'm deserving of attention and affection and pleasure if it is being given to me. But the whole notion of providing it for myself is empowering. And we both turned 50 within months of each other a few years ago, and to be working this business as a profession and to be in this position where we're merely a conduit and it is almost our own sex ed every day. And then you get to play with the toys under the guise of research and development. I mean, life is good.
That's amazing. And to be doing that, like some people think that when you get, I know women's hormones change in their 40s and 50s, and they say anyways, that their sex drive goes up and men it goes down.
Well, I think it's probably both. I think everyone, we can't put them all in one boat. But I think a lot of it in our age group is that, your children have left home. You might have more free time. You might want to have sex in the kitchen again. So I think that's part of it. And then I think it's part of too, it's just that age where you're like, it's like, screw it. Like, if I'm not going to enjoy myself now, when am I going to enjoy myself? So I think women really in this age group are coming into an empowerment stage where they feel like they know themselves, they know what they want, and they ask for it more.
And if they don't know what they want, if they are becoming a bit more curious, the conversations are happening. And when they go through their midlife mayhem, whether it's the hormonal, the changes, all of what us women go through, then to have something like this that they can be part of is empowering. And let's face it, the connectivity. You and I, Shelly, met nearly 18 years ago because of our kids and our allergies, and we've always maintained conversations over the years. And I think we get to this age and stage where your friend groups might be shifting and changing, and maybe you don't want to go out. Maybe the whole pandemic, changed our social routines. So we want it to be this platform, this offering, this community of empowerment.
Yeah, I mean, I think it lets women know they're not alone. Like maybe, so she has that too. Like that lady has what I have, and no one told me about this. And okay, that makes the women less alone, I think.
Most definitely. Yeah, they don't feel so by themselves and scared. And a lot of times you're afraid to ask your doctor, or you're afraid to talk to your girlfriend because they might think you're weird, or,
Exactly.
and you know, a lot of times you don't even, some women won't even get naked in front of their husbands or boyfriends in the light. And so with you guys having this type of platform and getting out there and talking, how empowering is that, that no one has to be afraid. And I love that. And I do agree.
Seminar tomorrow on sexual. We have a good seminar tomorrow on sexual confidence, so it's going to speak all to that. Yeah.
Okay,
those ones are so powerful. We've had a couple of them like that, and it does, like, women they just want to be seen and they want to be heard. And
well, you get into your like 40s and 50s and people think that your life is over, that you're like nothing. Whereas I feel like, for myself, and I know Leah, you feel this way, and Cass, you're here as well. Like, I find as I get older, I feel more confident. I feel more sexy. I'm more proud of who I am. I'm not afraid to ask for what I want. I actually think when we get 35, 40 plus, we get better.
True.
So long as you're curious and eager to learn and explore and find things out. Otherwise, you are having sushi every night.
I love sushi, but I don't want it every single night. So I love that you guys are doing that. All right. So now moving forward with you guys, are you going to be, so you've got a newsletter, I'm sure that, well, I know I get the newsletters. You get your newsletter, which talks about your events that you're attending, events that you're putting on, and your products and services that you have.
And specials that we can't otherwise advertise. Meta has their way with this industry. You can advertise erectile dysfunction, vaginal pain, vaginal discomfort, but God forbid you cannot advertise pleasure. And so there's stuff that maybe we don't deliver out into the cyberspace by way of posts. So if you're on our newsletter list, there is a lot of juicy information.
Yeah. So the website is intimatewellbeing.ca, correct? .com.
Intimatewellbeing.com.
Okay, .com, because you're international. You're not just in Canada.
That's right.
So intimatewellbeing.com. They can log on there. They can get your newsletter and get all that great information. And we should really have you guys out here, as we've talked about in the past, for a Pursuit 365 event with our community, because you're part of our community. Have you guys on board, and we'll do like a nice intimate well-being, sexual health event. I think that would be a lot of fun.
We would love that. We along the way with our trade shows, we try to incorporate, like, if we're going to be in a city, we kind of give our community a heads up, so that if we're in town for one trade show, then let's work and collaborate together with a pop-up shop. So whether it's photography, boudoir studios, or spas, or of the sort, we bring our wares. We have a little wine and cheese, and everybody goes home happy.
Beautiful, intimate conversations about really a subject or subjects that are very important to health and well-being. It's not just about intercourse and orgasms. There's so much more to it. So I know that I appreciate you guys and the information that you're getting out there.
Thank
you. I do have anything else to say before we close off for the interview? Do you have something special coming up?
It's my dog. Oh, that's your dog. No, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having us, and thanks for being courageous to have this conversation, because to get on these platforms, to have these interviews, it does make a difference, and we thank you.
Oh, I know how important it is. I really know how important it is, and people are afraid to talk about all of the above. I'm not afraid.
No, we know. So yeah, if you're on the newsletter, you are going to see what the drum roll is all about, and we are unveiling. There's exciting things happening, even as recent as November 30th, and next year should really be an exciting one.
Wonderful, guys. Okay, we will sign off here, and it was so nice to talk to you. Thank you for taking the day, and we will do a follow-up in 6 months, and we can hear about your brand new product or service.
All right. Thanks, Shelly.
Thanks.
Take care.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.